Hello everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel. Watch my video and subscribe my channel. After Eric reveals something shocking about Nick, Katie interrupts to needle Taylor. Nick remembers smoking a cigar in front of Brooke when they first met while they were in Italy. He identified himself as Captain Nick Payne at the time. Gazing out at the lake, he sighs as he recalls how they became friends. There are further flashbacks as Brooke remembers moaning to Ridge about their separation the day before while she was in her suite. Brooke, Ridge B&B in a separate suite. Eric reminds Ridge that time is of the essence and that Nick will not accept no. Although he is aware that he wants to fulfill his commitment to Taylor, Brooke is his true love. Ridge makes an effort to persuade himself that Brooke is independent and will not fall for Marone's nonsense. More. When Amber and Deacon get back together, Eric informs his son that Brooke makes your heart race while Taylor is safe and predictable while sporting a distracting pink button-down and puffy vest. Fortunately, Ridge prevents him from continuing down that path. Eric is unfazed and asks Ridge to cease punishing Logan for accepting the CEO role. He needs to take action because he overreacted. When Eric Ridge B&B Ridge knocks on Brooke's suite door, she is not able to hear him because she is using earphones. He gives up. As Eric shows there, Nick ogles the engagement diamond inside a ring box he neatly pulls out on the dock. The Forrester's mouth drops when he learns that Nick intends to propose to Brooke without even dating. More. What happens now that Luna is alive? As Brooke reads a charming text from Nick in her suite, Eric raps on the door, upset, saying he's trying to find Ridge. Eric cuts to the chase when she rambles on about Naples and cautions her against allowing Nick to exploit her weakness. Don't give in to Nick, he begs haphazardly. Brooke responds that's who she's going to meet and leaves him standing by himself in her room. Will Finn break Grace, Brooke, Eric, B&B? Finn and Bridget debate Liam's dubious surgery in the Los Angeles hospital. Now more than ever, he is determined to speak with Grace Buckingham. After reviewing the circumstances, they come to the conclusion that something is amiss once more. Finn, Bridget, B&B until Grace arrives. Finn and Bridget are repeating themselves. Putting on his most menacing face, Finn asks her about Liam Spencer's miraculous recovery. Grace chirps that they'll simply have to trust her and leaves rather than confront the big inquisition. More, will Taylor see the light? Liam's story will take a horrifying turn soon. Katie takes a break from her PR work to tease Taylor about Ridge's relationship with Brooke in Italy at the Forrester mansion. As expected, everything goes over well, and they immediately start debating whether Brooke should be with Ridge or Nick. Katie's declaration that Eric wants his son with Brooke is a betrayal. Taylor is certain that Brooke will return engaged to Nick and that Eric will fail if he attempts anything in Italy because she has learnt nothing from her previous experiences. Taylor doubles down after Katie teasingly remarks, "You're quite the optimist." Who is going to attend Taylor B&B? We get another round of flashbacks, including the frequently reenacted Keyhole reunion in Rome, as Brooke waits for Nick in Italy while thinking about Ridge the entire time. Ridge appears out of nowhere and gives her a shoulder tap. This is the reason Brooke is blind. According to teasers for The Bold and the Beautiful, many fans are perplexed as to why Brooke Logan appears to be so unaffected by this one issue. This is due to the fact that she continues to pursue a man like Ridge Forrester, despite the fact that he has said some of the most degrading things about her daughter, Hope Logan. This is why Brooke is blind. Let's not forget that Ridge, among other things, label Hope a slut. Additionally, Brooke continues to seek and lust after Ridge rather than throwing him out. Have you ever stood up for your daughter? Where are the morals of this woman? Even better, is she not at all in love with Hope? Naturally, B&B fans on the internet had a lot to say about the issue. Some even said in their comments, "I like Brooke, but I can't support her and Ridge. He deserves to be left alone because he is a POS. She must be the one to declare that they will not be reconciling." They have reduced nearly every character to a plot point for Steffy or Ridge. What is there to cheer for in the situation? Is Brooke's daughter unloved? Right? Wrote another show critic. Particularly considering that his own children have had a very troubled past. You don't see Brooke calling his children derogatory names. Hopefully, Hope urges Ridge to stop and brings up his derogatory remarks about her, and I hope she does it in front of Deacon. Additionally, someone commented, I wish Brooke and Taylor would give up on him. It isn't helping that for months and months, since Brooke doesn't care and keeps wanting Ridge, even though he basically cheated on her with Taylor again. However, BNB fans will just have to watch every day to see what happens next. For decades, all he has done is jump between them. On weekdays, the CBS network broadcasts The Bold and the Beautiful. Look up the timings in your local listings. Ridge's audacious move, Nick's boat proposal, and Eric's rage. Friday, August 1st, 2025 spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful are available. Fans might anticipate that Nick Marone, Jack Wagner, will arrange a boat proposal. But Ridge Forrester, Torsten K., might attempt a bold rescue when Brooke Logan, Catherine Kelly Lang, fell into the ocean. Let's discuss what will happen in the upcoming episode of the CBS soap opera as you continue reading. Be sure to read our weekly B&B spoilers here. Eric Forrester's fury. Let's begin with John McCook's character, Eric Forrester, who got into a heated argument with Nick during the fashion show. Ridge's challenger was cautioned by the patriarch to avoid Brooke. The seaman, however, has never been one to follow directions. Brooke, meanwhile, ultimately came to the conclusion that she could no longer do this with Ridge. She simply can't stand her heart's never-ending roller coaster anymore. He sought to hang on rather than let Brooke leave in peace. See what transpired in the final episode of B&B Brooke Logan's Fall by reading this. Brooke didn't turn around after she eventually left Ridge. Not once. Every time Brooke leaves Ridge, she turns around. She may therefore really be over him and prepared for her journey with Nick. Unfortunately, it appears that Nick's plan to buy a boat will not work out. Somehow, Brooke tumbles into the sea. I wonder whether Nick stuns Brooke rather than surprises her. Therefore, it's his fault that she almost drowns. Ridge Forrester's rescue mission. It appears that Ridge will be there to save Brooke if she falls from the boat. In the past, rescuing compulsions forced Ridge to reunite in soap operas. But I'm hoping that, after thanking him, Brooke will agree to Nick's suggestion. Fans would finally applaud. That would be soap opera gold. We might be lucky with a last-minute swerve, but it's unlikely. Friday, August 1st, 2025. Sheila Carter-Sharp, Kimberlyn Brown, may attempt to locate Lee Finnegan, Naomi Matsuda, back in Los Angeles. Following the excellent doctor shouldn't be too difficult because the waitress is an expert at stalking. Deacon Sharp, played by Sean Cannon, is attempting to help Sheila deal with her loss in the meanwhile. Nevertheless, Deacon 2 requires a confidant to discuss his emotions, which differ greatly from Sheila's. Could we also see Luna Nozawa, Lisa Yamada, awaken since it's Friday? Will she remember anything that happened? Will Luna have a different personality when she wakes up? Will she attempt to deceive Lee into believing that she has changed? Stay tuned, as this might go in many different directions. Taylor's next step following her tragic rejection. Next week on Bold and the Beautiful, Rebecca Budig's character Taylor Hayes experiences heartbreak. It will not go well. Early next week, her fiancé will fall for his ex. Then Taylor will be taken out from under her feet when the Forresters have all returned to Los Angeles. We will discuss Taylor's actions after Ridge Forrester, Torsten K., dumps her and returns to Brooke Logan, Catherine Kelly Lang. This is Belinda from Soap Dirt. Since we know how he treats women, I actually believe that Ridge will dump Taylor after running back to Brooke. Usually, he doesn't pause to end the previous relationship before continuing. So, if you haven't already, please click subscribe and let's get started. Spoilers for Bold and the Beautiful. Ridge Forrester's big epiphany and Taylor Hayes' heartbreak. Ridge is about to have a big epiphany. The major accident in Italy appears to be early next week. There will be spoilers for that. According to Brad Bell, this accident will be unlike anything we have ever seen. Ridge then understands that he was destined to be with Brooke. This implies that Taylor will be ditched as soon as Ridge returns to California. The main question is whether Taylor will remain in Los Angeles or go to simply escape from everything after he lets her go. Given how many people want to see Taylor cheated, it would be extremely awkward for her to stay and witness Brooke and Ridge live their happily ever after. Then it occurs. Naturally, Taylor will be prepared to begin organizing their wedding as soon as Ridge returns to Los Angeles. Ridge needs to come tell Taylor that he and Brooke will most likely be the only ones getting married. Then what? Let's discuss Taylor's future when Ridge calls off the engagement. After Ridge dumps Taylor, what will happen to her next? Possibilities for vengeance romance and rebound first things first. Aside from wanting to know if she stays or leaves, a vengeance romance, a rebound that Taylor is aware would irritate Ridge, could be a lot of fun. What would happen if Taylor and Nick Marone, Jack Wagner, ran off? Nick's conversation with Brooke was driving Ridge crazy. I believe he would react similarly to Nick speaking to Taylor, his other soon-to-be ex. Because, as you may recall, Brooke is not Nick's only former spouse. Nick and Taylor had a past together. In addition to being married, Nick and Taylor attempted to conceive a child together. She was having some problems with infertility. Brooke was the donor. I believe it was a donor egg that they used. Taylor discovered that Brooke and Nick were the true parents of the child. After that, she lost it, began drinking, went into a downward spiral, and their marriage ended. That was in the days of Hunter Tylo. Clearly, that was years ago. However, Nick and Taylor are both on the verge of having their hearts crushed and being dumped. They may seek solace and camaraderie from one another. Who knows? Even though it's unlikely, I believe it would be awesome if Taylor got on Nick's boat and went sailing with him, especially since we know that next week marks Rebecca Budig's 1-year anniversary on Bold and the Beautiful. We don't know if she agreed to a 2-year or 12-month contract. We simply don't know. Taylor's potential escape, reuniting with her children and family, support the second possibility to think about is that Taylor might flee to be with her children if she chooses to leave Los Angeles and be apart from Ridge and Brooke. Just last week, Steffy Forrester, Jacqueline McInnes Wood, left Los Angeles with HAYES Forrester, Brian David Garlick, and Kelly Spencer, Sophia Paras McKinley, claiming she wanted to gather her thoughts following the Luna Nozoa, Lisa Yamada incident. Although this is obviously a temporary departure, Steffy told Finn that she needed some time apart. This is merely a substitute for Jackie, Wood's maternity leave, as she is expecting her 5th child. Next up is Thomas Forrester, played by Matthew Atkinson, who is now in Paris, in order for Taylor to run to visit either or both of her children. Perhaps Taylor goes to Paris to attempt to get over this difficult period when Ridge breaks her heart again, and Steffy is also going there to see Thomas and Douglas Forrester, Henry Joseph Samory. In this manner, HAYES, Kelly, and Douglas, Taylor's grown children and grandchildren, can provide her with solace. Steffy and Thomas will undoubtedly be enraged that their father Ridge is returning to Brooke and will be all Taylor. Since Ridge is doing just that, Steffy will believe her father lied when he said he wouldn't break Taylor's heart this time. Thomas has never been a fan of Brooke. Taylor's possible stay in L.A., sabotage, retaliation, and new romance opportunities if Taylor chooses to remain in L.A. It could be interesting to watch her attempt to discipline Ridge for his typical infidelity, lying, and other transgressions. Taylor might attempt to ruin Brooke and Ridge's reconciliation. For my part, I'd love to see Taylor take aim at Ridge for being a big, waffling, dishonest cheater. However, given that Ridge is timeless, I believe that Taylor's actions would be a complete waste of time. Therefore, we are aware that Taylor's attempts to single out Ridge and Brooke or attempt to dismantle them will fail. In a recent interview with Italian magazine OG, Bell stated that while Bridge is endgame, it would be entertaining to watch Taylor get Ridge filthy. I believe this is how you say it. If Taylor decides to stay, She can also experience a vengeance romance with someone in LA that Ridge despises. Ridge would be annoyed if Nick and he left town, but Nick isn't staying. For weeks, Jack Wagner has been absent. He has returned after taping his Hallmark program, Brave and Lovely, Dollar Bill Revenge Romance. However, there is a significant chance for a retaliation rebound that would completely devour Ridge on a local level. What if Taylor approached Bill Spencer, Don Diamant, and had a sexual encounter? Although Taylor did attempt to kill him in the past, I don't believe Bill is still upset over it. In addition, he enjoys living a risky life. Bill would likely smile at the thought of Ridge being enraged and Taylor in his bed. The dressmaker has never been liked by him. Given the way Ridge spoke to Bill following Liam Spencer's Scott Clifton shooting, Bill would find it amusing to pretend to be in a romantic relationship with Taylor in order to exact some small retribution on Ridge. It was simply terrible. Ridge dared to order Bill out of the hospital before he saw his son. Liam was clearly lying there between life and death. Bill was aware that he had messed up with Luna. He entered the scenario with a great deal of remorse and apology, but Ridge was acting like a jerk by calling him Billy without warning. It seems as though the authors have just forgotten certain details. It's the first time I've ever heard Ridge refer to him like way. It's simply insane. Therefore, Bill might like exacting some retribution on Ridge. Additionally, Taylor might be motivated to approach Bill more. That sounds like a lot of fun. Taylor's last choice. Leaving town to concentrate on work and recovery. If Taylor does choose to leave town, she may elect to pack her things and head out to work. She might believe that's the best way to keep her heart safe and forget about Ridge. She may return to the philanthropic work that Taylor has previously done. In order to prevent broken heart syndrome from affecting her again, she can also go to an ashram in India for some preventative chakra healing. I do recall that Taylor was able to move past Ridge's heartbreaking her in the past because to the chakra healing, it enabled her to get past Ridge. Taylor made the grave error of never again being under Ridge. Let's be honest, Taylor is capable of more. Brooke can do better, really. I have previously stated that here. Ridge is not a prize. In fact, according to Torsten K., Ridge is not a reward. He dislikes his personality. The allure of fighting for a waffling weenie like Ridge is beyond me. We'll see what transpires, though. When Ridge breaks off their engagement and confesses that he fell in love with Brooke again while in Italy, as Eric Forrester, John McCook, intended him to, I don't think Taylor will take it well at all. Can provide her with solace. Steffy and Thomas will undoubtedly be enraged that their father Ridge is returning to Brooke and will be all Taylor. Since Ridge is doing just that, Steffy will believe her father lied when he said he wouldn't break Taylor's heart this time. Thomas has never been a fan of Brooke. Taylor's possible stay in LA, sabotage, retaliation, and new romance opportunities if Taylor chooses to remain in LA. It could be interesting to watch her attempt to discipline Ridge for his typical infidelity, lying, and other transgressions. Taylor might attempt to ruin Brooke and Ridge's reconciliation. For my part, I'd love to see Taylor take aim at Ridge for being a big, waffling, dishonest cheater. However, given that Ridge is timeless, I believe that Taylor's actions would be a complete waste of time. Therefore, we are aware that Taylor's attempts to single out Ridge and Brooke or attempt to dismantle them will fail. In a recent interview with Italian magazine OG, Bell stated that while Ridge is endgame, it would be entertaining to watch Taylor get Ridge filthy. I believe this is how you say it. If Taylor decides to stay, she can also experience a vengeance romance with someone in